Hello everyone and welcome to our Wellness Kitchen episode. Today we're going to be focusing on Premier Fitness. So we have a very special guest, Julie Meola, and she is a member of Premier Fitness and she's also an excellent cook. So I am going to turn this over to Julie. Can you talk a little bit about yourself and what you're going to be making today?
Yes. Just a short little bit about myself. I'm from Ashtabula, lived in San Diego for 30 years, came back in 2016. In the last 20 of my 30 years in San Diego, I had the great fortune of working as the catering manager at UC San Diego. So with that job, I did have food and beverage training prior to that, but with that job, I was in the kitchen constantly with the chefs. We were doing events all the time, community events, special events for dignitaries that came to our campus. And with that said, we always had to be reinventing the wheel about, different things that are different because a lot of the events were annual events. So every year we had to make it better than the last one. I mean, we fed the Dalai Lama, we fed presidents, we were all over the place with very important people that came to the campus. But today, we're not super fancy, but what I'm making today is I'm making a dish that I learned how to make when a couple of my siblings and friends were in Tuscany. So it's called, it's Penne All'amato is the name of the pasta dish. We're also making just a fresh bruschetta, and then we have some healthy muffins that you can even make into a cake if you like with fresh peaches, and I'll tell you about those ingredients in a minute. But we got all of our produce from the community garden market.
Yeah, so they are at Premier every Tuesday.
Yes.
So if you'd like to come from 10 to 2, and I know that there are other places too, but Julie and I really wanted to use some local produce.
Yes, yes. It's important, I feel, to utilize all those farmers that there are so many farms in Ashtabula County, it's unbelievable, and to really take advantage of beautiful produce and healthy food during all year round, but we really have to utilize and take advantage of it in the summer.
We have to give props to Janice from the front counter because she
provided the basil.
Yes.
We didn't bake the bread for the bruschetta. We wanted to, but we just didn't, in the interest of time, right. We couldn't do that. So basically what we're going to do now is I'm going to saute some hot peppers while we're making our bruschetta. So this recipe, the important thing about this recipe is that you have to let these things cook and get them really cooked down. So the peppers, and these are hot. And amazingly enough, when this dish is done, oopsies, when this dish is done, it's just got a little teeny bit of heat at the end. It's not like something that, oh my God, I can't eat it because it's too hot. Okay.
If you like hot, you could probably put more.
You could put more. Yeah, you could put more.
But
you want these to cook down. So you want those to cook down. And also with the peppers, we're going to throw in our basil. Now, and again, we learned this dish in Tuscany. The lady that, we stayed at a place that was an old castle, and the lady of the house had been a chef. So we spent a day cooking with her. And you always want to use butter, not olive oil, no garlic, butter, hot peppers, and we're going to just throw in the basil like this. We're not going to pick out the leaves. We're going to.
So why do you do that?
Because, believe it or not, the basil does not stay in the sauce. Once everything is cooked down, you take the basil out. Okay. We got a lot of beautiful basil here.
Yeah, thanks, Janice.
That was good, Janice. Thank you very much. Okay, so while we're letting this simmer a bit, we can start cutting up our tomatoes for our bruschetta. You know what? I just need a bowl. Okay. So let me start about the bruschetta with the bread. Okay, we got a baguette, any kind of baguette. We took the baguette, sliced it, and made some little crostinis. You toast the bread, the little toast, for like 10 minutes. You can do it in the, in your regular oven, toaster oven, whatever. Now, and rubbed a little bit of garlic on it, a little bit of olive oil on it before we put it in the oven, okay? So once it comes out and once it cools off, you want to take a big clove of garlic and just rub the bread. You do not want to put garlic in your bruschetta because it takes away the beautiful taste of the tomatoes and the basil. Okay, because you just want a little bit of zing at the end.
So that's something I learned today.
Yes,
Just rubbing the garlic right on the toast.
Yes, right on the toast. No chunks, no slices of garlic.
It smells absolutely wonderful in here. I wish that you could smell it. But
You can't make that happen,
I
John?
wish I could.
We're swap the basil. I'm going to move this over here.
So here's the bread.
Okay, so there's our bread. Now, while we're still watching our basil, I'm actually going to throw in one more little piece of basil. I'm just going to throw it in like that. Okay. All right. Now, we're going to cut up our tomatoes for our bruschetta. Look at all these beautiful tomatoes we have. And the beauty of this is you can use any tomato. It doesn't have to be a Roma tomato, big boy. I like to mix them up because they all have really nice flavors, okay? So we're gonna cut some of these Romas. Okay. And normally what I would do, and I don't think we're gonna do it today, I like to puree my tomatoes in the food processor. So they're kind of like a salsa consistency, but I'm gonna kind of try to cut these up small.
Yes, you can put them in your blender. You can put it in your food
Yes.
processor.
Yes.
However you like to do it.
Yeah, we just want it so that it stays on our bread.
And I like that we're using different types of tomatoes.
Yes, no, it's just, yeah, because I actually made this dish last week and I used all kinds of tomatoes. And they were it turned out absolutely delicious.
Yes, I love bruschetta. Bread is like my week.
Yes, and the bread, I'm telling you, with that little rub of garlic on there, and that's how they make it in Italy, by the way. That was another thing that we learned that day. You don't use garlic. It's not all about garlic. It's about just putting a little touch of that on the bread. Okay.
So how long do you cook this?
You know,
basil?
you just kind of sort of eyeballing it, okay? You just, because you want the basil to be completely wilted.
Okay.
But once we get, and we're also going to need to cut up our tomatoes for this as well.
I can help.
You want to help me cut some tomatoes?
I sure can.
Okay. All right.
Why don't you?
Yes.
Which one do you want?
Let's use these.
Okay.
Because those will be easier to cut, maybe one big one, okay? And you want to cut those in not huge pieces, okay?
So this is for the pasta. So
Yes.
Is this a good size or more?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
Because
Bite size kind of pieces.
you want the tomatoes to cook down too.
Yeah.
Because it really, and they're not going to cook down all the way. You know, I was thinking about this the other day after I made this dish. You could actually puree the tomatoes for this too, but I think it kind of takes away from the
texture.
The texture.
Consistency.
Yeah. It's just, and again, that's the way we learned it when we were there. Also in this bruschetta, just salt and pepper, or I have on my recipe Greek seasoning. A friend of mine gave me that little hint to do that recently. But you don't have to put Greek seasoning in. You could use olive oil. Okay, I'm going to throw a little bit more butter. And, okay, so we're using butter, and butter, if you eat pasta in moderation, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Okay? So, and again, this dish, you have to use butter for this dish. You can't use olive oil. It would never give you the same flavor. Okay?
So how long have you been a member at Premier, Julie?
I've been a member here. When I came back to Ohio in 2016, I joined right away. Okay. At that time, I was taking, I was I usually come 2-3 times a week. I really enjoy coming here. For me, it's very convenient. Luckily for me, I'm a silver sneaker. So it's a real benefit of being at this point in life to be able to, utilize this.
Right. Yeah. If anyone's watching, we do offer silver sneakers here. There's no out-of-pocket cost for you. It's so. If you need to know if you have it, just call your insurance company. If they do offer silver sneakers, you just come in, you sign a few pieces of paper, and then, like I said, there's no out-of-pocket cost for you. It's covered under that insurance. We have several classes that are, meant for silver sneakers or seniors, or really anyone. We've got cheer yoga, we've got
that cardio drumming is amazing.
Yeah. Do you take any of the classes?
I do. I've taken the cardio drumming. I've taken the yoga classes before. When I first came, there were Pilates, a couple of Pilates classes here too. Those were really good.
Yes.
Yes. No, I enjoy coming here. I mean, I come here 2-3 times a week whenever I can.
And then when you join, like a lot of people, when they're like intimidated when they come. They're like, oh, I don't want to come in because they think everyone's a size 2 and they're wears like spandex. And
right.
It's not like
oh no.
So you can come in, and when you join, we don't just say, okay, here you are. There's the equipment. You're on your own. I mean, we give you 2 free sessions with a trainer.
Yes.
So they're going to do like an equipment orientation, show you how to use everything, and then do a fitness assessment.
Yes.
So they'll go over what your goals are and get you started.
Yes.
And then if you feel like you want more, you can purchase personal training. We have personal trainers here.
Yes, and I've done that too.
Yes.
I did that when I first came back.
Yes,
I worked out with Janine Bartlett for about a year when I came back. So then that was wonderful.
So there's lots of help, when you join. And if you're still unsure, we offer a free week, so you can come in, just try it for a week, see how you like it, and then hopefully join.
Okay, I'm going to throw in the tomatoes now. Okay.
Oh, it smells so good.
Okay. So we're just going to let this cook and cook and cook and cook. Going to let the tomatoes cure down a little bit. So while we are letting that happen, I'm going to get rid of this cutting board, June. I know I'm making kind of a mess.
All right.
I'm kind of a messy
Totally
cook.
okay.
It's kind of like an artsy thing.
That's all right.
Okay, so now I'm going to take my crostinis, okay, and I'm going to take my basil, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut it with the scissors, okay? We're not going to use as much basil in here as we used in our pasta. Okay. And also, ACMC, I have my family doctor here. Dr. Focolati is my doctor, who I love. She's also my mom's doctor. A couple of my girlfriends go to her as well. And then I'm sure you all know my cousin Ben Meola, who is in the heart department at ACMC.
He's awesome.
Yes, he is.
He's done a lot over here for us.
I'm sure he has.
Yes.
I'm sure he has. He's very knowledgeable.
He's one of our speakers.
He's and of course, very healthy. I don't know if he's ever eaten a piece of bread. I don't think so, but I'm not going to embarrass him. So anyway, so Dr. Focolati is my doctor. Also, my mom had a bad fall recently, so we've spent about 2 months going to the wound center at ACMC, and they have, oh my God, they've just been amazing. Amazing. They are the nicest people. They take the time. She really got beat up pretty badly, so she's pretty much all healed up now, so we're very grateful for those people at the wound center.
Yes.
Okay, now I'm just going to put a little bit of salt and pepper. I don't usually use a lot of salt.
So just to taste.
Just to taste, yeah, just to taste. And
it looks so pretty.
It does, doesn't it? I
Colorful.
don't know if you can see it. Now again, when you do it in the blender, it's a little bit more soupy. So I'm going to try to, I'm stirring it up a little bit to kind of squish it a little bit. Again, I would recommend that you put it in the blender.
Yeah, or a chopper or something.
Chopper, yeah. Anyway, so we have that done. June, can we get a spoon? A little
Yes,
spoon?
we can.
Okay. June's a good helper in the kitchen.
I'm trying.
All right, so we're just gonna put a little bit on our crostinis. And another thing that you can do with this that I did last week, I did the bruschetta on the crostinis, but I also threw on a nice piece of fresh mozzarella cheese.
That sounds good.
It was very delicious.
Or ricotta cheese, maybe.
Or you could use,
fresh
yeah,
ricotta.
yeah. You could use shaved parm. You could do any of that. Okay, so we're just
Yeah,
gonna.
whatever you have in your garden, too.
Yep,
Just
yep.
use it.
And this, this is such a good fresh appetizer, or even if you were having a salad at night, and you kind of wanted a piece of bread, but instead you just had a little bit of bruschetta. Again, everything in moderation. And again, these dishes are just utilizing all of this beautiful produce. I mean, you can make this in the wintertime, not the same.
Right.
Not the same flavors. I mean, the tomatoes in the grocery store, they're fine, but they're not this.
And if you're counting, we were talking before, like if you're counting carbs,
Yes.
you can modify these recipes.
Yes.
Like you can do, like instead of the pasta, maybe you do some spiralized, some zucchini or
Yes.
squash. So definitely there's lots of ideas.
Or if you have a gluten
Right.
allergy, you don't want to eat the gluten, you can, there's so many pastas out there, red lentil pasta, black bean pasta, all kinds of stuff. So if you wanted it to be a little bit healthier, then that's what I would recommend. Now, the last thing I do on this is just a little, this is a balsamic glaze. What it is just balsamic vinegar that has been reduced. So basically it just gives it a nice zing. I just do a little, whoopsie.
You gotta open it. Yeah.
Well, that would help.
You know what? I don't.
There it is.
Here we go.
Okay. I just do a little zip like this.
beautiful.
Okay.
I never heard of that. I was
Yes.
telling her I'm gonna get some of that.
This stuff is amazing. And I should work for this Bertolli.
All right.
Okay. Anyway, this is just delicious. You can put that on pizza. You can put it on anything, but anything with cheese, like we were saying about the ricotta.
Pizza or.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting hungry now.
Are you getting hungry?
Yes.
All right.
I might have to take this home.
So when we're close to being done with this, and I'm shortening it a little bit, but we
you want to let it cook and.
you want to let it cook down a little bit more. But when we're close to, do you have tongs? A pair of tongs?
I know I do. Okay, somewhere. Oh, these aren't the best.
No, that's it. That's fine.
Is that okay?
Okay. So what I do is then you take. See how you want
I wondered
this?
how you would get
Yeah,
take those
you're
out.
going to take your basil out like this. Now you might, miss a few little
And
leaves.
what can you use that basil for anything? You just,
I would not.
Okay.
No, I would just pitch it because it has done its job. And then June, would you grab the little thing of whipping cream, please?
yes.
Okay. So after we do this, just a little bit of whipping cream. Not a ton, just a little, because we want to cream it up a little bit, okay? Okay, so this is what you want it to look like. You could put more cream in.
Right.
I don't, and when we made it in Italy, like I said, we didn't do it that way. Okay, now, another thing that I learned when I was over there is that when you're doing this, you do not pour this over the pasta.
Okay.
You put the pasta in the pan.
Oh.
Okay. All right, so we're going to stick, and we used penne pasta today, but like June said,
Whatever you need to use.
Yeah.
And before I forget, I just forget to say this. When you're watching these, if you like and share, we give away a $25 gift card every episode.
Very nice.
So we'll be announcing last month's winner at the end of the show. But yeah, so if you are watching, please share and like this. And
Yes.
Winner.
Okay, so the last thing on this, it's pretty well done. Again, I would have, cook the tomatoes a little bit longer, but not necessary because you're still going to get all those delicious flavors. Then you put on your Parmesan cheese, shredded, grated Parmesan cheese. Okay, and it's going to kind of melt in there. And then when you're serving it, if you're making it for friends or family or whatever, you could always throw a little bit more on there, okay? And that is it. I mean, it's easy.
But we're gonna make a nice plate of everything.
Yes.
And show you.
I'm sorry about the mess, Jim.
No, that's okay. It's like my kitchen. I'm a mess of cook too.
Yes.
As long as it tastes good.
This is it. This
Yes.
is it. Absolutely.
Or you want to talk about the
Oh,
muffins that you
yes.
made?
Okay,
She made
so
these last night.
originally I was going to do some kind of a peachy cake, but I decided because the peaches, again, this is another thing I use because they're in season right now, peaches. This is just a muffin that I used, and June has the recipes for these. Oat flour, and you take bran flakes and you soak them in fat-free milk. So you got your bran flakes, and you have that mixture with oat flour, spices. There's cinnamon in there. What else is in there? Applesauce instead of oil. You know, for any baked good recipe, you can always substitute applesauce for oil if you don't want it. But even if you use oil, vegetable oil, it's not horrible, okay? And then just fresh peaches. That's all. There's a little bit of sugar in these.
And if you don't want to use sugar, use one of the sugar substitutes.
Yes, like the stevia, like you were saying.
Monk fruit, something like that.
Yes, yes. And then the fresh peaches. I also made this with blueberries too. You could do both, the blueberries and the peaches, or just the peaches. But you know, they're flavorful, but they're healthy. Okay, so all right, June.
So while you're getting that plated, just a little reminder: if you're interested in joining Premier, just stop in. We're open every day, Monday through Thursday. We're open 5 a.m. to 7 or 8 p.m. Friday, we're open 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturday 7 to 3. And Sunday 9 to 1. So definitely come in, and I'm gonna invite Allison to come over for just a second, and she's gonna talk about an event that we're having with one of our doctors that we'd love for you to participate. So come on over.
Well, surprise! I didn't know that I was going to do this today.
I brought you over.
That's okay. This smells wonderful. It looks wonderful. I love the idea that you've given some healthy options. It's fantastic. And I always say the rule in my house is if you're cooking it, you have to clean up after it. That way we can kind of keep the mess down.
Didn't I clean up
but it
last
doesn't.
time?
You did.
It's your
You did.
turn.
It is.
It is.
But that doesn't work because I am a
all right.
mess. One
All
end
right.
of my kitchen to the other when I cook. So I wanted to let everybody know our ACMC's General Surgeon, Dr. Bibidakis, will be speaking. We're going to have a dinner with the doctor. It's Wednesday, September 21st at 5 o'clock. You do need to call and register for the event. It is absolutely free. You can come and have dinner while Dr. Bibidakis speaks about general surgery items, the thyroid, hernia, breast health. He's going to also answer some questions if you have any, so write those down, bring them with you. We're going to do a New York strip steak or chicken, baked potato or sweet potato. They're going to have some local beer and wines out there for you. Again, it's absolutely free. We just are encouraging you to come out, listen to Dr. Bibidakis, ask those health questions, make sure that he's the right physician for you, and come and see where you fit in. He is absolutely fantastic. He's top notch, just like a lot of the other physicians that we have here. Again, that's Wednesday, September 21st at 5:30. I'm going to give you the phone number to call to make the reservation. Or if you need more information, leave your information there and I will return your call and get back to you. The phone number is 997-6555. Again, that's 997-6555. Leave your name, phone number, and I will get back to you and answer any questions you have, or you could just make that reservation to have dinner with Dr. Bibidakis. So thank you so much for this delicious.
Yes, thank you,
Oh,
Julie.
you're so welcome.
I
I hope you guys will enjoy it.
We're going to
cannot
enjoy
wait
it
to
after the
make-
filming. thing.
Yeah, I'm going to
Right.
enjoy tasting it, but I can't wait to make this.
Yes.
I love
It's
to
so
cook.
easy.
It is
And
so
you
very
have,
easy.
you have all those, you have a beautiful garden, so it's, you'll have everything at your fingertips.
Absolutely. And that's the other thing I say. I encourage people to start a garden.
Yeah, even
Right
little.
now, you can
Right.
do your fall, get some lettuce and some spinach, things
Yes.
like that in, so you can eat a little healthier.
Yes, yes.
You can grow them in pots right on your back porch.
Yes.
Right.
If you live in an apartment, do it right
Yes.
outside your door.
Yes.
Stop here for the farmer's market too. Every Tuesday
Yeah.
you can do
And
that.
they have really nice produce at the
Yes.
farmer's market.
Yeah.
I was really thrilled that they had everything we needed.
And we'll
So-
put all the recipes
Will be
on
linked
the link.
on the Facebook.
Yeah, so you
Absolutely.
can do that.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks
You're
for letting
welcome.
me.
I
You're
can't wait to
welcome.
eat this. All right, thank you.